Grand Risings. I was thinking about this one while I was sleeping. And I came up with the first 3 terms, then I came up with 5 terms, which is going to be good. So it's called force, might, strength, terror, command. Okay, I'm going to be just breaking down what that is. Force is when in a situation where you want to get a reaction, you want to see something happen, you want to push, you want to push on what's the other person or the other people or the group, you will use force, and you will force yourself or you'll force the other people to acknowledge yourself in that situation. And so it's a card you can use to say, like, how do I put this? Like, I'm bigger than what I am. But that's all I'm saying. I'm bigger because I'm bigger than you are right now. And it's not a permanent thing. The force card is not forever. It's just in that moment. So then there's after that, strength. Okay, strength is forever. It takes longer to build because you have to constantly build it, and people recognize it in you. So it's something that people visualize, they can see on you in the way you talk, in the way you carry yourself. And they can envy it of you because they want strength in and of themselves. So the more strength you have, the more people recognize it, and the different your conversations are going to be because you recognize it internally that they also recognize it. So it's something that everybody on the playing field is aware of, the strength of a person based off of their experiences, what they've done to gain their strength, and usually how they go about keeping their strength. And it's something that people can't take from you, but the environment that that person brings, or the environment that unfortunately you can fall into, can take your strength from you. And that includes like things that just happen over time where because of the environment, your strength is diminished. But you can increase your strength. You can always build your strength. That one is permanent. Might. Okay, might is a situation between two people. So might says, you're doing something that I don't like, so I might do this. The mighty Hercules. In just this instance, I used might. It's the instantaneous effect to get a desired result. More than likely, you've already said what they're gonna do, what the other person needs to do, and you use that might card to make them do it. It's might. It's not a fight, but it's might. Like, I'm mighty. There's a might strength in there, and it's usually between two people. As like, look, you're talking to me, but you're not getting the desired result. So you say your phone's not working, you might need to do this. Or you say you trying to blah blah, you might need to go do it. Like, it's not a probable thing. It's not a perhaps. It's to get that result you're talking about, you got to take some action along with it and use might. You can use it on other people. You can use it when you talk to yourself. And it's one thing where it's serious. So there's also terror. Okay. Terror is something to be incited in another person. You don't know how long it'll last because it's dependent on the effect it has on the other person. However, it makes them act scared and irrational. And since it is, that's what it does, it's less likely for you to have a good way to control or calm them down when they need to be calm. And it can make people do weird things, freak out, do things that don't actually make any logical sense, say things they don't mean, react in different ways where if they were going one direction, they're probably going another direction. The terror will tear somebody down. Tear somebody down. And you'll have them just sapping their strength. Like when someone is terrorized, it will sap their strength. Terror isn't forever, but it'll make people forget. It isn't forever. That's the best way to describe it. But it does scar people. And it'll make them forget their strength, and it'll weaken their commands. Let me come to the next. Command is, this is what is best for this situation going forward. You do this. Take action in this step that is going to move us in this dialogue or this conversation or situation into the next phase by sitting down or by sitting down or opening up. Depending on what your strength is, people may or may not respect your commands. They may feel that they have more might than you, so that means they might not do what you're saying because you're not stronger than them, or you don't have as much strength as them, so they won't respect your command. And the command is saying, this is where the group is going. This is where we're pushing pressing the envelope, pushing the ball up the court. A command is take this specific action regardless of the result, but because of what has happened, take this specific action. Yeah. Because of what has happened, take this specific action. And those are different ways of leadership, different ways of power, different ways of working with people. The one I like the least is terror. It's like the worst one, and it has the worst side effects. It has the worst side effects. So if you're like with people you expect to see in the future and you're terrorizing them, it's not good. And when you're trying to get results from them, because you don't know if they're still feeling terrorized, or if they've come back and regained their sense of strength. It's a might. They might have, they might not. Because an instant for you is different for an instant for another person. So you got strength, might, command, terror, force. Yes. Force. And that force is, when you are forced, you're forcing the situation. You're forcing your hand. It's not unfolding how it normally should, or not how it naturally would of its own accord. You're adding yourself into the mix and forcing more things. But when you do that, people may react differently. So